here at Ghorfa's 26th German Arab Business Forum. Egypt has been a big topic, a big buzzword, and with me now is a man who has just struck a really interesting deal there, Mr. Olaf Hoffmann, who is CEO of Dorsch and Vice President of Ghorfa. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me here. Yes, we are honored to sign a very important deal for our company, for Dorsch. We were acquiring the main shares of ECG, Engineering Consulting Group in Egypt, with about 3,000 employees. And as we all know, we are living in times of war for talents. You may have a good order backlog, but having the right, well-educated people is really a demanding topic for all of us in all industries. And in our engineering and infrastructure sector, it was a great opportunity to take over the market leader in Egypt. Talking about Egypt, we see very well-educated people in the younger and also the experienced generation. And Egypt, as we all know, is a country which has a hinge situation between the Arab world and Africa. So we are not talking about this deal as a market entrance in Egypt, where Dorsch is active since decades. It is also a hub for the region, for our production in the Gulf states, but also for the more and more coming new markets in Africa. So Egypt, as a very prosperous country, has an own good market. At the moment, as we all know, with the depreciation of the Egyptian pound and the high inflation, for sure there are some topics to be solved. But what we have at the moment with an order backlog of about 60% non-Egyptian projects, we can cover the problems quite well. We want to increase this non-Egyptian order backlog even more in order to secure the workplace for our staff. Also, what we have to do to increase the salaries for our staff, that we can afford this, what we will we'll do in a very fine way. And seeing the country moving forward with its big infrastructure projects, it is also an interesting situation as Egypt is privatizing a lot of infrastructure. So also on the side of operations, not only on the building construction side and phase, but on the operation side, we are stepping in. So we signed a big project some weeks ago, the water operations of a new administrative capital in Cairo on the potable and sewerage side. So also here the country is going into an excellent direction. And as we all have heard, that Deutsche Bahn is operating 3 high-speed rail lines in Egypt. This is showing again how open the country is for foreign direct investments and also international companies to step into the market. So we are very happy about that deal, which is really a tipping point for our company towards being more successful in the Arab world and in Africa.
So you mentioned a few challenges and opportunities already when it comes to Egypt, but can you summarize what would you say are the most important challenges that lie ahead for Egypt and investing in Egypt in the future?
So the biggest challenge for the society is the very young demography. All these young, well-educated people, they need a private and family perspective. They need housing, they need jobs, they need an income. So this is a big task for the Egyptian government, and we expect seeing the last 10 years of heavy investment from governmental side. So we trust the government, they will fulfill it and they will overcome the situation. So maybe in the 30s we see a very strong and very prosperous Egypt, maybe one of the strongest economies in the region then, which is laying ahead. On the other side, for companies like Dorsch, it is a big challenge to keep the people in the company because of the high inflation. A lot of well-educated Egyptians, they try to work for international companies also abroad. So the volatility in workforce is one of the main topics for the next 2 years, I would say, hoping that the inflation somehow is going down then, and that the Egyptian pound is stabilizing at a better level. But as always in our history in Dorsch, we used the crisis. So we were growing heavily during Corona. We are using now the depreciation of the Egyptian pound or the inflation to step in with a big investment into the market. So also we will overcome it and stabilize on our side as much as we can.
Thank you very much for your insights, especially on Egypt. Very interesting.
Thank you so much.
Olaf Hoffmann, CEO of Dorsch. Thank you.